On February 6, 1962, a rare celestial event unfolded in our solar system. A planetary conjunction occurred with multiple planets aligning in the sky. From our perspective on Earth, these celestial bodies appeared unusually close together. This particular conjunction was especially noteworthy due to the number of planets involved and their proximity to each other. Astrologers have long attributed special significance to such alignments. They believe that planetary conjunctions can influence events on Earth, shaping the course of history. While astronomy and astrology are distinct fields, the 1962 conjunction coincided with a period of intense global turmoil. The world watched with bated breath as major political, social, and scientific events unfolded. It was a time of both great promise and peril, marked by technological advancements, cultural shifts, and the looming threat of nuclear war. The coincidence of the conjunction in these events has led many to ponder the potential influence of celestial events on human affairs. This essay will explore the major events that transpired around the time of the 1962 planetary conjunction. We will delve into the political tensions of the Cold War, the burgeoning space race, and the cultural revolutions sweeping across the globe. By examining these events in the context of the conjunction, we can gain a deeper understanding of this pivotal period in human history. The 1960s were a time of profound change, and the events of this era continue to shape our world today. In October 1962, the world stood on the brink of nuclear war. The Cuban Missile Crisis, a tense standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union, brought the two superpowers closer to conflict than ever before. The crisis was sparked by the discovery of Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from the US mainland. President John F. Kennedy responded by imposing a naval blockade on Cuba, demanding the removal of the missiles. For 13 harrowing days, the world watched and waited as the two sides edged closer to war. The threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large, casting a shadow over the entire planet. Finally, after tense negotiations, Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev agreed to remove the missiles from Cuba. In return, the United States secretly agreed to remove its own missiles from Turkey. The Cuban Missile Crisis was a sobering reminder of the fragility of peace in the nuclear age. While the world grappled with the Cuban Missile Crisis, another conflict was escalating in Southeast Asia. The Vietnam War, a protracted and bloody struggle between communist North Vietnam and US-backed South Vietnam, had been raging for years. In 1962, the United States increased its military presence in Vietnam, sending thousands of troops to support the South Vietnamese government. This marked a significant turning point in the war, drawing the United States deeper into the conflict. The Vietnam War was a complex and controversial conflict fueled by Cold War tensions and the desire to contain the spread of communism. The war had a profound impact on both Vietnam and the United States, leading to widespread protests and social upheaval. The conflict also exposed the limitations of American military power and the moral complexities of intervention in foreign conflicts. Amidst the political and social upheavals of the early 1960s, a different kind of competition was captivating the world's imagination. The space race, a contest between the United States and the Soviet Union for supremacy in space exploration, was in full swing. Both superpowers poured resources into their space programs, eager to demonstrate their technological prowess and claim victory in this new frontier. In 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space, orbiting the Earth aboard Vostok 1. This historic achievement sent shockwaves through the United States, galvanizing the country's resolve to catch up. The following year, American astronaut John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth, restoring national pride and intensifying the space race. The space race was more than just a competition for technological superiority. It was also a symbolic battle for the hearts and minds of people around the world, reflecting the ideological struggle between communism and democracy. Section 5. Troubled Borders, India and China Clash. While the Cold War dominated the headlines, other conflicts were erupting in different parts of the world. In 1962, a border dispute between India and China escalated into a brief but bloody war. The conflict, known as the Sino-Indian War, was sparked by a territorial dispute in the Himalayas. Both countries deployed troops to the disputed region, leading to a series of clashes along the border. The Sino-Indian War lasted for 1 month, ending with a Chinese victory and a ceasefire agreement. The conflict had a significant impact on relations between the two Asian giants, leaving a legacy of mistrust and tension. The war also highlighted the challenges of border disputes and the potential for conflict in a world still grappling with the legacies of colonialism. Section 6. A divided city. The Berlin Wall stands tall. In August 1961, a physical barrier divided the city of Berlin, separating families, friends, and a nation. The Berlin Wall, a concrete barrier erected by East Germany to prevent its citizens from fleeing to the West, became a potent symbol of the Cold War divide. The wall stood for 28 years, a stark reminder of the ideological battle between communism and democracy. The construction of the Berlin Wall shocked the world and heightened tensions between East and West. The wall became a focal point for protests and demonstrations, with people from both sides risking their lives to cross over or to demand its removal. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked a pivotal moment in the collapse of communism and the end of the Cold War. Section 7. Cultural Revolution, the Beatles take the stage. While political tensions gripped the world, a cultural revolution was underway. In the early 1960s, a new wave of music, fashion, and social attitudes emerged, challenging traditional norms and values. At the forefront of this cultural shift was a British rock band from Liverpool, the Beatles. The Beatles' infectious music, catchy melodies, and youthful energy captivated audiences worldwide. Their popularity transcended national boundaries, uniting people from all walks of life through the power of music. The Beatles' impact extended beyond music, influencing fashion, hairstyles, and social attitudes. They became icons of a generation, symbolizing the spirit of change and rebellion that defined the 1960s. Section 8. Economic expansion and scientific breakthroughs. The early 1960s witnessed not only political and social upheaval, but also significant economic and scientific advancements. The post-World War II economic boom continued in many parts of the world, leading to increased prosperity and consumer spending. This period also saw groundbreaking discoveries in science and technology. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick unveiled the double helix structure of DNA, revolutionizing our understanding of genetics and paving the way for new medical treatments. The development of the integrated circuit, or microchip, in the late 1950s laid the foundation for the computer revolution that would transform society in the decades to come. These advancements highlighted the rapid pace of scientific progress and its potential to shape the future. Section 9. The confluence of events, a time of change. The early 1960s was a time of extraordinary change and upheaval, marked by political tensions, social movements, and technological advancements. The confluence of these events created an atmosphere of both anxiety and excitement as people grappled with the challenges and opportunities of a rapidly changing world. The rare planetary conjunction of February 6, 1962, serves as a symbolic representation of this convergence of events. While astrology's influence on human affairs remains a subject of debate, the timing of the conjunction encourages reflection on the interconnectedness of events and the cyclical nature of history. The events of the early 1960s, occurring against the backdrop of this celestial alignment, serve as a reminder of the powerful forces that shape our world and the enduring human capacity for both progress and conflict. Section 10. Echoes of 1962, a lasting legacy. The legacy of the early 1960s continues to resonate today. The political, social, and technological changes of this era laid the groundwork for the world we live in today. The Cold War, though long over, continues to cast a shadow over international relations, while the civil rights movement and other social justice movements of the 1960s continue to inspire activism and demands for equality. The technological advancements of the 1960s, from the space race to the development of the microchip, paved the way for the digital age and the interconnected world we live in today. The cultural revolutions of this era, from the Beatles' music to changing social norms, continue to influence art, fashion, and our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Section 11, Conclusion, Our Place in the Cosmos. The rare planetary conjunction of February 6, 1962 offers a unique lens through which to view a pivotal period in human history. This celestial event, coinciding with a time of great change and upheaval, invites us to consider the interplay between cosmic forces and human affairs. While the extent of astrology's influence remains a matter of debate, the conjunction serves as a reminder of our place in a vast and mysterious universe. The events of the early 1960s, from the Cuban Missile Crisis to the rise of the Beatles, highlight the complexities of human nature and our capacity for both great and terrible deeds. As we navigate the challenges and opportunities of our own time, the lessons of the past serve as a guide, reminding us of the importance of diplomacy, the pursuit of knowledge, and the enduring human spirit that drives us forward.